In the 2016 reboot of the Doom franchise, the games reimagined the characters, as well as the premise or even related lore for an entirely new generation of players to experience. But Bethesda also desired for the interpretation of the series to be memorable to those who had played the previous games as well, and there were many subtle references to these previous games, which were reacted to positively and negatively. But the speculative scenario is this: what were the details of the Doomslayer's armor? Despite all aspects of the 2016 reboot on reinterpretation of the Doom lore and related story, specifics relating to his armor in terms of details were intentionally vague. From the confusing and even contradictory claims, the Praetor armor worn by the Doomslayer in the 2016 reboot was created by the Wretch. As to who or what the Wretch was, there were no real facts at all about the mysterious being. In Doom 2016, the armor was discovered in an ancient tomb along with the Slayer in Hell. The Union Aerospace Corporation was the faction that did research into the Slayer. All circumstances had the Doomslayer fighting eternally against the forces of Hell, but was eventually overcome by the legions of demons, and through immeasurable casualties of demons, were eventually able to subdue the Slayer and even separate the armor from the man. Unable to truly kill the man nor completely destroy the armor, both were kept in stasis and sealed away within Hell so that the hellish regions could not or would not eventually be destroyed by the Doomslayer. Observational details had it that the armor itself was worn and had visible signs of substantial use. There were also identification numbers upon it, with one of them being 8623, which gave references that the particular suit that the Doomslayer had worn was of a mass-produced variety, in reference to the Doom Marines from previous Doom video games. The Doom Marine references were present in all previous Doom games, except for the 2016 reboot. This was not the circumstance, as it was retitled as the Neo-Phalanx or the Elite Guard, as per story details for the games relating to the reboot of the time. Further contradictions had the Slayer in Doom Eternal have him depicted in armor similar to Doom 64's interpretations, in the same concept as the Sentinel armor, which was of the same visual style or even design as the Marauders. Further confusion about the armor origins had it that in the codex aspects relating to extra lore for the player to learn about of the Doom reboot of the time, it mentioned that the armor was made in Hell, but further observations clearly held evidence of human technologies upon and within the armor, even having English language text in and or various pieces of the armor, even branding from manufacturing based corporations. As it's hinted at or speculated with, the armor was originally made on Earth and the Wretch simply made improvements to it or used hellish powers to magically enchant it or even upgrade it. Theories had validity due to the soldier enemies from the games wearing similar armor to the Doomslayer. Even still, the suit could be upgraded with comparable technology taken from corpses encountered from the game, thus further connecting the Doomslayer's suit to the technology of Earth, or in particular, the UAC-based software. Confusion further held that from the 2016 reboot to Eternal had a different appearance with the suit, but it was only interpreted or noticed from the player in terms of the technical change. In the game itself, it wasn't necessarily acknowledged, as the technology of the suit was connected to the Night Sentinels of the game. Eternal also had the Doomslayer having multiple sets of suits that were in various states of disassembly, maintenance, as well as display within the Fortress of Doom, from which, as a result of technical lore, it stated that he had multiple suits that he could wear depending on the situation or what he had considered appropriate for the time of wearing. Opinions of players on the 2016 reboot on related games were actually divided upon the armors from the related games. One notable fact that the glory kills in 2016 were more focused on the Doomslayer using his sheer power and raw strength to literally rip demons apart with his gloved hands. Eternal had glory kills but were more focused on weapons-based kills. Other thoughts had it on a more visualistic sense of feel, with a more complete suit covering the whole body of the Slayer in 2016, with the more violent touch for the reboot when Eternal had clear signs of the Conan the Barbarian method or style of references even displays on parts of his body actually exposed for the sense in relating to Hyborian's sense of armor. Exact opinions of the 2016 suit be either too concealing or form-fitting, somewhat reserved even on the Eternal Slayer, showing off just how godlike the Slayer was in terms of his visual body, as well as the sheer brutality of him barely being contained by the armor. With everything considered of the games relating to the 2016 reboot, the armor of the Doomslayer was something unique, either beneficial or destructive depending on the point of view in terms of the discussion.